What did I do? What did I do? I have never screwed up like this ever. Instead of hitting stop sharing the screen, I hit stop broadcast. So let's hope everyone finds us here. We're going to give it a few minutes. So here we go, Nay. Feel free to just bag on me.
Yeah. No, it's okay. People make mistakes.
Oh, my God. Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone.
I need to get my lower third back up there.
Oh
my goodness.
Oh my gosh. All right. So let's
so hopefully we get our audience back.
We're going to give everyone a few seconds to get here. I am so sorry. At all these episodes, this is the first time I've ever done this. So
it took a while to get to, yeah.
Oh, I clicked the wrong button, and I don't know of any way to get back from my mistake in that current screen. So I am so sorry. I hope everyone is coming over. I've got the links posted. We should be up and running. I know that people were coming. Oh, I'm so sorry. And now I seem to be frozen. Oh my gosh. There we go. Are you there, Nay?
I'm here. I guess I have my lower third back now.
Oh my gosh, this is nutty. I'm so sorry, everyone. I can't believe just when I think I was running smooth,
yeah,
I pulled that.
That was funny.
All right, so we got links everywhere. Please tell if your friends were in the old one. Please tell them to come over. We will start the segments, but I know we're having a contest tonight, so I will pause on that till we get everyone back in. So let's get right to our first normal segment of the day, called Jay's Mess Ups. It's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Oh, I'm flabbergasted what a dingling I am. Oh my God. All right. So tonight we're going to start with the rum. This was the rum that I shared last week that I got for a present. And there's a reason I'm using this rum tonight. This is Outlaw Distillery spiced rum from Utah. Who knew they made rum in Utah? All right. So here is the mug I'm going to share tonight. This is a pretty bitchin' pineapple mug. Now, the reason I'm sharing this mug tonight is it's from a tiki bar in Chicago called 3 Dots and a Dash, and I will be at that bar this week. And what I want to show you a couple things. So when you get the drink 3 Dots and a Dash, if made correctly, on your little skewer on your drink will be 3 dots, 3 cherries, boop, 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 and a dash, a piece of pineapple. That is 3 dots and a dash. And this mug has a lid. Some tiki mugs have lids. So if you see a mug with a lid, make sure to be careful when you handle it. You don't want to break your lid. But I'm not drinking out of this mug tonight. Oh, there was a little dust in there. I am drinking out of a very, very special mug that I got as a gift this week from a very special friend. Look at this. Look at this awesomeness. So that's a cool side, but this is the best side. Boom. And who gave me this mug?
I don't know. Who gave it to you?
Oh, could that be my co-host Nadine?
Do you want to explain why it got creatively sent to you?
If you would like to share the story, that is up to you.
Oh, so I get to share the story?
If you want, you don't have to. You don't have to.
I don't care. I don't mind.
All right, go ahead.
So I'm a little accident prone, and we were in the Goodwill in New York, and I had this Starbucks mug. It was a really cool one. It was a square one with a Starbucks logo. I haven't seen a square one like that before. And I had all this other stuff. They didn't have carts or anything, and I had all this other stuff in my arms. I had shoes and I was just overflowing in another mug. And I dropped the mug, and it shattered in a million pieces, and it cut my hand really bad too. And this guy was like trying to pick up the pieces and everything, and Jason was behind me, and I'm bleeding all over. So he whipped out his do-rag that he wipes his head with when he's all sweaty, and I used it for my bleeding finger. So I had to send it back to him after that. I washed it. I got all the stains out. There's no blood in it. And I had to send it back creatively somehow. So I FOMO'd his do-rag back to him, and that was how I FOMO'd it inside of the Spice Girls mug.
First time I have ever gotten a do-rag FOMO'd.
Yes, that's what. Sent it back creatively.
So thank you, my dear. And yes, you being klutzy, I got a cool gift. So I guess if that's a payoff,
but I think like the next day when you got back to Vegas, you went to a garage sale, and you can tell your story. You cut yourself on a jewelry box.
I went to a garage sale the next day, and I opened a jewelry box, and I cut my finger and bled all over the garage sale. So
I think it was contagious. It was very funny.
I was channeling Nay, that's for sure.
Yes, it was.
All right, so we started way screwy. So hey, I'm Vegas Jay, your one co-host.
And I'm feeling it.
Oh my gosh, this is like the nuttiest show ever. All right, let's get into your segment. Then we'll jump off the contest. So hang on a second. It's Nay's breast cancer update and fact of the week.
So this week, I am feeling a little better. Actually, today I'm feeling a little better, much better than I was last week. Last week I was so sick and so nauseous, and I don't even, it was hard to make it through last week's show, as I guess a lot of you could see. I was very, very nauseous and sick. Today I'm just tired, which is normal, muscle aches and pains, and I went to the oncologist today, and unfortunately the lab messed up and didn't get my blood work to my doctor in a reasonable time. So
assholes.
So they're still waiting on my blood work to come back. So I don't know all the answers yet. I had some more blood work done, some more specific blood work done today. It still could be a number of things, some which still are really bad, some which are not as bad. But it looks like I'm not trying not to jump to conclusions and get all upset, but I may have to be making some rather important decisions in the near future, but we will see about that. And I might still be able to go through with my surgery at the end of the month. So just kind of waiting on those blood results because of the lab that didn't do their job. So anyway,
before you do your fact, do you mind sharing your shirt? Because you can't really see it. And I saw
it sure, yeah, and I'm cold too, so I have a sweater on. But it says eliminate breast cancer.
That's a bitchin' shirt.
Yeah.
I like that. So didn't mean to interrupt, but I want everyone to see that cool shirt.
No, thank you. That was my. Okay, so my breast cancer tip of the week comes from something that a friend asked me. Now, I get all kinds of crazy things that people ask me and tell me and say to me, and they give their opinions about things, about my treatment, and people, some of them are just curious, and I'm glad to share information. Some people just don't think before they speak, and that's fine too. I'm glad to talk to them too. It's just some of the things I hear. So this week, a friend said to me, do you know that, have you always worn underwire bras? And I said, well, as a matter of fact, I did. And she said, well, wearing an underwire bra increases your risk of getting breast cancer. So I had never heard of that. So I looked it up, and sure enough, it is a myth. So if anyone's heard of that, that's a myth. The reality is that underwire, the claims are that underwire bras compress the lymphatic system of the breast, causing toxins to accumulate and cause breast cancer. But it has been widely debunked as unscientific. The consensus is that neither the type of bra you wear nor the tightness of your underwear or other clothing has any connection to breast cancer risk. So there you go. That's a myth.
Excuse me, myth? All right. I think we got everyone back. If anyone is seeing this after the fact because they're on the first link, I am so sorry. Obviously, I did not mean to mess up our show tonight. Never my intentions, obviously. I've never done it before, and I will never do it again. Whoops. Okay. So, those of you who tuned in tonight, I know some of you saw the post in
I forgot something.
Oh, I'll come back to you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Really quick, cool. I want to go through this. This past week, I've gotten more love than this from people. So this is just in the past week. from our viewers, from our friends, you know, online. I got Queasy Drops from Jennifer Flanders. Thank you, Jennifer. I got a Damn It doll, a Damn It Cancer doll. Cancer can't let me down. I won't let you do it. I'm a survivor. I won't let you win it. I am going to rise above the pain and victorious. And you're welcome here. Damn it, damn it, damn it. That's my Damn It doll. So that's from Joyce Banbury. And Terry Hendricks knows that I like My Little Pony stuff, so I got more My Little Pony stuff. And she also sent me an awesome Stand Up and Fight Cancer nightshirt. And from Jason's mom, Peggy, thank you, Peggy, I got this awesome breast cancer bag. It's really cool. It's a tote bag. And this beautiful pink watch that I'm wearing. And our guest tonight, Maida Webster, had this Churchill Downs Kentucky Derby bag that was hand designed by designer Rebecca Ray. It's very cool. So those are the gifts that I've just gotten in a week, and I feel so loved. Thank you, everybody, for all of that.
All right. Very nice presents and nice love. Thank you, everyone. You guys are great. A couple of you are like, oh, a surprise Tuesday show? That tells me you didn't watch last week. We talked about it because I'll be traveling this week to Chicago, so we couldn't do a Thursday show. So tonight, Tuesday. Hey, speaking of Chicago, some of you are here for a contest. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it kind of easy. I've been given 2 entries to the Ecom Chicago event that's been sold out for weeks next weekend. So not this weekend, but next weekend. I'm the keynote speaker. You got John Lawson. You got Chris Green. Hey, you got my mom. This is my mom's first event, so come see Peggy talk. And I know there's some people watching today that are here because they want to win a free entry. So cool. All you got to do is say, I want in, and I'm going to write down your name. I'm going to assign you a random number, and then Nadine's going to pick them. So, chat, tell me now who, and please, don't say you want in if you can't make it next weekend. It's in Chicago, and it is Friday and Saturday. Okay? So please don't, because, of course, we want these to go to people who can actually make it. All right? So let's hear the, hey, I want to do this, and we will write your name down, and we'll get this contest going. So let me hear it from the chat room. And by the way, while we're waiting, this rum is crazy, weird, and delicious. The spice in it, and I did see why I did spice tonight? Thanks to my wife. She's like, you got to do a spiced rum for your Spice Girl mug, see? So, yeah, the spice is way different. It's almost like a dessert rum. Like, it's really cool. It's way different. I'm still trying to figure out how to describe it. All right. So, Tammy Droll, is your yeah mean you want in? Brian Smith says he wants in. All right. So, Brian Smith. Robin, you're not going to be in Chicago in a week. How can you say you want in? Are you going to fly to Chicago? Jessica Colvin. Thrifting Divas. Thriftopia. These are fun names. Obviously, if you win, you're going to have to give me your real name because I can't put Thriftopia on the thing. All right, Cheryl. All right, so people are saying I want in. I know some of you don't live in Chicago. Yeah, I know. I realized I was frozen there. Some of you saying you want in. You don't live in Chicago. Please, are you sure you can make it to Chicago next weekend? This is not paying for your flight or your rental car or your gas. This is just in. All right, I'm going to go back and write all these down. So, Nate, we're gonna kick off our scores of the week, and I will get you going first so I can write all these down.
Okay, so. Oh, okay, I'm
all right, hang on a sec.
Okay.
Hang tight. Let's do our scores of the week. All right, let me get it up here for Nadine. And bum, bum, bum. I like this little, your first one here. All right,
yeah,
so let me, and feel free to yammer on for a few seconds while I write all these names down.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a vintage Nurses Are Lifesavers mug, and I did sell it for the full asking price of $27.95 with free shipping, and as you know, that can go FOMO. I had a very carefully FOMO it, though, because it was vintage and delicate. I've had it up for, I want to say it's probably been like 6 months, and I think I paid I think I paid $1.99 for it at Goodwill. But I just thought it was cute and fun. And then when I actually went to list it, I realized that other people had it listed too, but their pictures weren't that great. Like they didn't have it on a black background, and it was kind of, not kind of. So I decided to put it up high, and sure enough, today it sold. It is going to California, FOMO'd, but so it only cost me $5.25 or $35 with my discount to ship. So I think that was a pretty good sale just for a 10-ounce mug. So I was happy with that. And we're waiting for Jason to come back.
I will, I'll hop over to your other one here.
Okay.
Talk
so
slower.
this, so I don't have much to say about this one, but this is just a Peanuts Snoopy Charlie Brown tie, and a lot of, like, recently I've been letting some of my ties go for less. Like, people have been offering me $10, whatever, and I'm trying to clear out some of the ties. I won't, not the better ties, but some of the kind of mistake ties I've bought. But this was a pretty good one. Snoopy usually sells, and I paid $1 for it, so $19.95 with free shipping. It goes first class. It's like 3 ounces. I was happy to take that. That was fine. So that was, I like selling ties too because they're so easy to ship. You just roll them, and stick them in a plastic baggie in a poly mailer, and they're off. So it's easy.
All right, keep talking for a sec. So I'm going to put you on the screen, so you just yammer for a second while I write all these down. I guess I didn't think this out too well.
Okay.
All right, you're on the screen.
Okay. So let's see. Let's get a question in the chat room, and I'll answer it.
No more chat. I'm trying to keep up.
Oh, you're trying to keep up with the chat? Oh, darn. That idea went down the tubes. Okay. So what can I talk about?
I didn't realize we'd have this many people in the area. That's why I am shocked right now.
I still have a ton of...
I am shocked right now. I thought we have, 10.
So I still have a ton of stuff. I have bees on my desk right now. This is shameful. There's another one somewhere too. I have all of these on my desk that are in my listing queue. I've got Colorado. I've got Chicago. Speaking of Chicago, I've got Denver, and there's another one floating around somewhere too. I don't remember. I've got a Philadelphia one. I've got an Indianapolis one. So that's right now. That's in my listing queue. I am so backed up with listing because I haven't been feeling good. So I've got crazy stuff to list, stuff that would probably sell for me quickly. People are saying I look well tonight. I do feel better tonight. Thank you. I'm tired, but a little emotionally. My doctor's appointment was a little emotional today, but I am feeling better than I was last week. So.
All right. I got everybody's name written down. We got 14. We'll get back to that in a minute. Let me get to my scores of the week.
Okay, thank you, because I just yammered on.
Yeah, it's cool. You did good. No, you did good. You're good. All right. So, and real quick, Christine Lemoyne, she is our answer girl in the chat. I saw her giving some answers. Whatever Christine says, you are good to believe it is the truth because she is our right-hand girl.
Yes, we love Christine.
Yes. So if there's somebody else, if Heather wants to be on the list, I will add one more. But let me talk about these shorts. These are Ralph Lauren shorts, and I found them for $3 in the thrift store. They looked kind of beat, but they were built to look kind of beat, and I think that's why they were so cheap. So I think I took an offer of $40 on them. So that is one score. And then now I showed this on my Amazon versus eBay show with Chris Green, but I was challenged to sell this. Now, I can't remember who was challenging me, maybe Jennifer Taggart, but we were thrifting somewhere with a class, and they said, you always say ugly sells, I dare you to sell this. Now, the one picture my assistant did not get, see, this is a crazy cat lady dress, and it looks like it's a top and a dress, but this was all one piece. So that vest is not really a vest, it's kind of like a faux vest. It's all built in. And the cat's playing with a little fish in the fish bowl. I paid $3. I sold for $20. I made about $10, $12, but I was challenged to sell a ugly item, and it worked. Now, it went to a man. I don't know if it was for him or not, but maybe this was a great costume because it just sold, so who knows? So, don't be afraid of ugly. All right, so I did not see Heather come back and say yay or nay, so, okay. Oh, I do. Okay. Heather is in. All right, so we ended up with 15 total. Okay, cool. All right, so before we jump off to our contest, we got to get right to our other side of the coin of our scores, because not everything can be a winner. We all know that. We have been around the block a long time, Nadine and I, but sometimes we have duds too. So here's our duds of the week. All right. I am so out of sorts with this show today. I'm so sorry, everybody. It's like chaos in my head right now. All right. So you're going to say to yourself, hey, Jason, you showed this dud last week. How could it be a dud again? Well, let me tell you. Here's my dud of the week. Hey, it looks like the dud from last week. All right. So if you watched last week, this sold for $12. Guess what? I missed a big stain on the back, kind of like in the back of the armpit area. I mean, obviously it was not very visible, but, I missed it. So in my store for 2 years, only sold for $12, then had a refund. So yes, I've had the same dud twice in 2 weeks. Yay for me. I'm a goober.
So are you going to donate it now?
Oh, I just told him to keep it. He goes, well, it's got a stain. I'm like, well, then give it to a friend or donate it.
I thought you noticed it before you were going to ship it.
No. It got to the customer, yes, because I'm an idiot.
And then he found the stain.
Yep. Did I only have one dud this week? I guess it wasn't a bad week. I only had one dud. Okay, so we're up to your dud. So, all right, sweet.
Oh, this is a horrible dud. Oh, my goodness. Worst dud ever. Well, last week's was the worst dud ever. First of all, my picture is bad. I should have taken that on a black background. This has been listed forever. And it sold last week, and I was like, what the heck? What was I thinking when I listed it? Because I listed it for $11.99 with free shipping. Why? Why did I ever do that? And why did I not take it on a black background? I don't understand. I wish I could go back to myself in the past and tell myself that listing was not done well. But anyway, it sold for $11.99 with free shipping. I was able to FOMO it because it wasn't really big, and
you gave them a free cola with it too.
That was my sizing thing, but it did go FOMO, but still I really didn't make much of a profit on that, and it wasn't worth it. So that was a dud.
And then some yarn. The one area I'm afraid of because I don't get what's good and what's bad. Yeah,
this is bad. This is what is bad. If I had a lot of this, it wouldn't have been like a lot, as in a lot of, maybe 3 or 4 skeins or so. But just one skein for $5. I did charge shipping on it, but yeah, that was not that wasn't a great sale for yarn.
Yeah, see,
I thought it would do better, and then when I looked them up, it was like, but it was in in a bag of with a bunch of other yarn I bought at Goodwill. So in that respect, some of the other yarn might pay for that, so that's okay.
And I know that I know there's some good yarn, but man, seeing your dud, I don't know what to do. Like, that's one section I'm like, I don't know what to do.
It's more of the natural fibers that do better. Some of the discontinued ones, if you're going to do acrylic, it would have to be like a really sought out discontinued color. So
okay, so I have the 15 names written with a random number next to each name, and just to make it fair, Heather, who came in at the end, she is not number 15. I switched her out with somebody else. So you have a job, Nadine.
Mm-hmm.
You have a job to give me 2 numbers between 1 and 15.
Okay.
First number, please.
13.
Okay. Second number, please.
2.
Alrighty, here's our winners. Are we ready, chat room? Are we ready? And I'm sorry, obviously our show's going to run a little over tonight because we got way behind. My bad. All right, number 13 was our first one, and I wrote the name down really quickly, so I'm not exactly sure. So, Max Harrington, I think, is our first winner. I know it's Max with 2 X's, so it can't be more than one Max with 2 X's in our group. And our second winner is Jay Abney.
Awesome.
So those are our 2 winners. So Max and Jay won. All right, cool. So Max and Jay, oh, sorry, I'm off the screen. Max and Jay, hit me up on Facebook, Facebook/TikiPug. I will make sure that we get it all squared away. And I want to thank the person who donated those to us to give to you guys. My friend and Nadine's Teresa Cox. She won them. She was going to attend. She can't attend. And so she said, hey, Jay, give them out at your show tonight. So I want to thank her for that.
Yes, thank you, Teresa.
Please get with me winners after the show. All right, cool. Let's get back into the normal show. I think I'm back into my flow now. How's that sound? Close Encounters of the Thrifty kind. And you know what's funny is I didn't think I had one, and then I'm like, duh, I got like the best one. It happened last week, and I was like, ugh. So I'm in the back of a Savers, and I'm near the emergency exit. And I got headphones on. I listen to a podcast when I'm by myself, and I'm digging through the hats, and I hear the emergency exit alarm go off, and I look up, and a dude was about to go through the door, and he looked at me, and I gave him the evil eye, and he stopped. He shut the door, pretended like it was an accident, pretended to get a phone call, no phone rang, and then walked quickly out of the store, and I found out he was trying to steal 2 drills. And I know the employees at that store really well, so my good friend Rosie came to turn the alarm off, and I pointed him out. I go, hey, Rosie, he was trying to steal these drills, but me standing there thwarted his thievery. So just me and being bigger than life, he did not steal those 2 drills, and I scared him away by just the evil eye.
Good for you. That was a good deed.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on at first, so me just being there was my deed, really.
There you go. So, well, my thrifty encounter is a few weeks ago when I was in Goodwill. In front of me, it's kind of a tip and a thrifty encounter, because in front of me I had this woman that had was actually like a family. She had kids, and anyway, they had this big huge ironing board sticking out of the cart. They had like I don't know how many housewares items, clothes just like all over, like off the hangers, just strewn all over, shoes, like you name it was in that cart. It was piled up to the top. They get to the register, and then they say, oh, you know what, we have to sort all this out. And they started going through everything. They took the ironing board out. They took everything one by one out. And the cashier never said, like, you should move to the side, nothing. And they just kind of picked through what they decided, what they wanted to buy in line in front of me at the last minute. And they dwindled it down to, like, just a small amount of stuff. And they just left the cart there with all the other stuff in it and bought their stuff and walked out. My tip there with my thrifty encounters, don't do that, because you will irritate the people behind you in line, very much so, and it's just really rude. What I usually do is I take the cart to a quiet area in the thrift store, and I go through my stuff, make sure
there's
check
a quiet area in thrift stores.
I always find a corner. I always find a corner somewhere, and I'll go through my stuff and, do it there if I have to do it. But don't do it in line. Don't do it in front of.
Well, if you do it in line and I'm behind you, you will feel the wrath of
what
that shoplifter felt.
There are some seriously irritated people, but nobody ever said, like, hey, you need to move out of line for that. And the cashier just stood there, and she was all patient, but it was crazy, and I'm on my lunch hour and stuff, so it wasn't. Anyway, so that was my encounter.
By the way, I don't have much fear of anything, so had that guy actually walked out with drills, he would have had me quick on his heels. So, especially, I would do it anywhere, but especially when I'm at a store where I'm friends with the employees, that is bullshit that you're trying to steal from a store that the money goes back to helping people. That is about the lowest you can be. Good rum, great cup. Thank you, my dear. All right. It's our Thrifty Tips of the Week. All right, now I got a tip, but it only might be at one store I've ever shopped at. So check it out. I don't know if this is just one store's idea of something different, or this is uniform throughout the company. So this was at a Savers. I've told you before, go to the Halloween section because they always have cool stuff that isn't really Halloween-y. I mean, it could be, but it could be used every day. So last week I was at Savers at Crazy Town, and those of you who know me, you know what Crazy Town is. And I found this awesome 2XL rain slicker with a detachable hood, all vented, heavy-duty vinyl, full length. See how long it is? Holy cow. I found that in the costume section for $3. And I think that's like a $50 raincoat. Next to the costume section, and I've never seen this before, was a woman's Halloween t-shirt section. And then I found a men's Halloween t-shirt section. Never seen that before. But here's what they've decided to put in the women's section. Had nothing to do with Halloween, mind you. So here is a Cinderella tour shirt. Cinderella is a hairband from the 80s. So this was in the women's Halloween t-shirt section for $2.50. And then right next to it, and obviously from the same person because it is the same size, is a Def Leppard tour t-shirt.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's cool.
Also $2.50. So if you have a Savers near you, besides the costume section, look to see if they're all doing this Halloween t-shirt section. There'll be some good stuff in there. I promise you that.
Cool. Unfortunately, in my Goodwill, they get salvage from I don't know what store, if it's a costume store or what, and it's all brand new costumes from this store, and they price them at the prices of the regular costume store. So there's no actual like cool vintage Halloween section there, which is kind of cool. Like I have to travel to a different thrift to find that actual section, and nobody buys them every year either. It's kind of sad. So.
Was that your tip? It's kind of sad.
No, I already did my tip, didn't I? Oh.
Oh, you did your tip kind of.
I did not do my tip.
Okay, I gotcha.
No, I didn't do my tip yet. I'm sorry.
All right, well, do your tip then, because you're
We're
like,
both all
that's
lost
sad, and then you
tonight.
were just all quiet. I'm like, was that a tip?
No, I was just rambling on. We're both off tonight. Oh my gosh. No, I didn't do my tip. Okay. So my tip is that this is okay, my tip is that when you have an awesome print on something, the brand doesn't always matter. And in very, very rare cases, you can even sell something like Sonoma, which is a Kohl's brand, or I dare to say, the Walmart brand, Faded Glory. Even if it's a really, really cool print, like it's got to be something really awesome about the shirt, then the brand is secondary and it doesn't matter. That it also holds true on the Halloween sweater. Well, Halloween sweaters, Christmas sweaters, all of that. It doesn't matter what brand it is. It really doesn't. It can be any brand as long as it's cool and it's funky and it's got. So this holds true with this shirt that I found at the Goodwill. I actually PM'd Jason about it because I was like, should I buy this? Shouldn't I buy it? Because I don't usually buy men's clothing. And here's the reason why I was debating on this. The brand is Guess, if you can see that.
Well, if you hold it up, we can see it.
There you go.
There you go. Hold it steady. Perfect.
Okay, so the brand is Guess, and Guess in women. I don't sell men's clothes very often, so I don't know how it's doing in men's clothes. But in women's clothes, Guess is kind of one of those brands that's gone out and does not do too well. And I do not pick it up unless it's something really fantastic or it's really cheap and I know it's going to sell. But as a norm, I wouldn't just pick up something solely on that brand. So, however, this was a 2X, and the print is just fantastic. Like, so I think that the print is going to sell this, not the brand. So if you can see the pockets there, they're really cool.
Pearl snaps? Pearl snaps?
Yeah, it just has this cool vintagey kind of vibe to it. Yeah, and it's a 2X, so that's what's going to sell this shirt, not the brand. So you know, don't always not buy something or not buy something just solely on brand. You have to look at the print and the funkiness of the item too. So.
Cool. So now you got your tip done. All right. Sweet.
Now I have my tip done.
That was awesome. You have got to be shipping me. All right, we've talked about FOMO a few times today. For those of you who don't know, FOMO is a way to ship breakables in flat rate bubble priority mailers. I have a video on this YouTube channel, so go check it out when we're done here. But if you remember last week, I got a cool tiki mug in the mail from a friend. It was a white and black tiki mug, and he messaged me and said, "How'd the shipping go? I don't want to end up on your shipping tips." Because usually I tell bad ones, Nadine tells good ones. Well, I'm going to tell a good one today. He kind of FOMO'd it. So what he did was he built a box inside the padded flat rate. Now, I make it more conformed to the shape, but this worked too because he used all this bubble wrap stuck inside this box. He did put fragile stickers on. You don't have to do that because you should pack your item. If this was the item and it was packed, you should be able to do this, and it'll be all good. Your item should be able to be thrown down the stairs. You don't need a fragile sticker. If it gets broke, you didn't pack it well enough. But he packed it well enough. So use your bubble flat rate mailers. If you're a top rate seller, it's $5.35 anywhere in the country, Puerto Rico, Alaska, Hawaii, and Guam, the U.S. Virgin Islands included. $5.35. Whatever you can get in it. Oh, by the way, that big rain slicker, it'll fit. That's going $5.35 anywhere in the country. So that's my tip. Use it. Watch my video. It'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, so mine. Oh, Jason, can you rate my FOMO to you?
Oh, yeah, Nadine's FOMO, she did the same way. It worked just the exact same. Hers was great, too. So
I was wondering what you were going to say about my FOMO job.
Perfect.
Okay. There's one thing I did on that package that I know you're not gonna, that I knew you weren't gonna like.
No, you were good.
The label.
Oh, I remember it.
Okay, never mind then.
All right, rolling on. Give us your tip.
Yeah, I'll just give you my tip. Okay, so my shipping tip is kind of simple, but sometimes you don't think of this. If you're using an old box that was previously used, make sure that you remove the old labels and barcodes to avoid USPS confusion. I did take a box to the post office. I dropped it off a while ago, and I remember turning it over and seeing the old label right there. I don't know how I missed it. And the guy actually took it that time. Usually they just sit there forever, but it was really dead in there. And I said, "Oh, wait a minute! I still have the label on the box." So he's like, "No worries. I'll just get a marker and I'll cross it out for you." But if I hadn't noticed it, it probably would have caused maybe some confusion and wouldn't have gotten to its correct destination because there were two different conflicting labels on it. So don't do that.
Yeah, I'm always shocked when I get one like that they didn't remember to take it off. Like,
yeah.
How did it get here?
Yeah, so I did slip up. I usually take them off I try to take them off right away when I know I'm going to reuse them, but it doesn't always happen, so.
All right, cool. Last segment, and then we'll get to our guest, because I know our guest has been waiting patiently, because I was a dork tonight. All right. All right, so here we go. Man, I am off tonight. I don't know what's wrong with me. Jeez, I'm not even on the screen. Let me try this again.
Wait, are you up first or am I up first?
You'll be first. All right, here's our viewers' 2-minute topic of the week submitted by Patty Campbell. Steps you take when shipping countries you don't ship to. Have you ever had to deal with restricted items or items not being delivered? And or what do you do now to prevent these problems? All right, let me take it off so you can see the timer. Get you on the screen, and here we go.
So I ship to all countries. I do not exclude any countries. I had one problem, and that was to Brazil, and the item actually ended up getting there eventually. It was a shirt, and she said she didn't receive it, and there was no tracking or anything, so I just had to take her word for it, and I refunded her. And then she sent me an email, maybe like 2 months later, saying that she actually did receive it. Finally. So it was just really slow, but that was the only problem I've ever had so far. I've even shipped to Italy, and I hear horror stories about Italy, and I've had no problems to Italy. Where else have I shipped? I've shipped to Japan. I shipped to Hong Kong. I've shipped to a lot to Australia. Actually, I just shipped one today to Australia. Australia is usually pretty good. They're great. UK is great. However, I do use GSP. I know that's a big source of contention for some people.
Oh, sorry, you were
items.
time. You were too busy naming off countries to come in under time. What the heck?
Okay.
You were like Romper Room. I see Billy and I see Susie.
All right, I'd like to see you do better then.
All right, well, hang on a minute. You're about to.
Oh, geez.
All right, there we go. So let me start it. Boop. I, like Nadine, ship everywhere. And let me tell you, the last time I had a problem was shipping to LA. Now, for those of you who don't know, from Vegas to LA, it's a 3.5-hour drive. Package got lost, never showed up. Did I stop shipping to California? Absolutely not. I ship worldwide. I don't use global shipping. I use myself. I'm a good shipper. When you do international shipping nowadays, the labels spit out with the customs form all ready to go. All you got to do is sign it. And, hey, don't forget to sign it. We had one of the members in the Thrifty board go, oh, my God, I've never signed any of these. Apparently, they don't care that much, but you should sign it and date it. But don't worry about Italy. Don't worry about Brazil. Don't worry about Mexico. Do they have problems? Yes. Might you lose a package? Yes. But like I demonstrated, you can lose a package going 3.5 hours driving from your house. Things happen, but for the most part, they don't. I've shipped all over the world, and I have no more problems internationally than I do domestically. So don't be afraid. Get it, and do it. Oh, 1 minute on the dot. Woo! All right. It's been a long first half of the show, mainly because I'm an idiot. All right. Let's get our guest in here because she has been waiting patiently, and she had to come find us again since I lost our first link. All right, cool. Here we go. Let's get her artwork up here.
There she is.
Hey, who's our guest this week? Well, hey, it's Maida Webster. Hey, Maida.
Hi, Maida.
Hello again.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Maida. Are you up past your bedtime?
I am definitely up past my bedtime.
I figured. I'm so sorry. I have no excuses other than I clicked the wrong button. And when you do that in this case,
I click the wrong button all the time. No problems.
All right. So Maida is an awesome guest, and here's why Maida is an awesome guest because she is a good friend to both Nay and I. And if you come to Ecom Chicago next week, you're going to see me give a speech about one thing, and then there's going to be a little secondary speech with my mom and maybe my dad, and we are talking about seniors who sell on eBay and kill it. And it's not a surprise that Maida is a senior, nor are my parents. So I'm not using that derogatorily. They are older than Nadine and I. And, oh, hey, Nadine has a little visitor.
His tooth came out, so he had to come down and show me.
Oh, well, you're about to get some money tonight.
So the tooth fairy is going to come. That's why he...
But wait, Mommy, Colin got it out for me, but
Colin took it out?
Yeah, but then it fell and it went onto the bottom bunk.
Okay, we'll find it. I'll find it when I go back up there, okay? You guys need to go back up into bed, okay? I'll come up after the show. Go back up to bed. You guys have to go to bed.
That shows you that we have family-run businesses here. We're in our houses.
Sorry about that.
No, quite all right.
It's a big event. A tooth fell out, so.
Tooth
fairy night.
So Maida and her husband Bill, they're killing it, and I'm going to let Nadine jump off the interview here.
Okay. So hi, Maida. I would like to know a little bit about your background, how you got started, how you and Bill started selling, what platforms you got started on, what platforms you sell on now, and you know, a little bit about your lives and what else you do outside of online selling. And I also know that you have a very special client who's very exciting, so I'd love to hear all about that.
Okay. I am a retired social worker and marriage and family counselor, and Bill is a retired CIO, and we were early adopters of eBay. In 1998, we actually joined. My name, Maida, is a very unusual name, and I never knew anybody growing up, and when I was in 5th grade, my aunt gave me a book that was similar, if you ever heard of the Bobbsey twins. It was similar. It was about a girl named Maida, and it was a series of books called Maida's Little Lighthouse or Maida's Little Boat, and each book was a story about a girl who had no mother but whose father sent her on adventures. And like everybody else, my mother threw my books away. But I was always looking to find another one of these books. And my friends never could find them. A librarian once found one for more money than ever. And in 1998, we heard about eBay, and I said, I'm going to just go on there and start looking for a Maida book. And if they have the Maida books, I will know that this is really going to be a viable place to join. And I went online, and of the 14 books, there were 7. They were $3 each. And in about 3 weeks, I managed to buy the entire series of 15 books that we had spent 10 years looking for. So I was hooked at that point. But we didn't start selling until I retired, and Bill retired, and he had an aunt who had $1,000, and the aunt had passed away, and they were about to send all of these dolls to Goodwill. And Bill yelled, "No, don't do it!" And he jumped on a plane to Cincinnati, and his brother flew up and brought home $1,000, which I knew nothing about. I bought book after book, and I spent every night reading about it. And that's slowly how we started on eBay. And that's what started our initial business of vintage toys and vintage dolls. I see little feet there.
Yeah, they're supposed to be in bed. They've snuck out of bed after the tooth incident. And
yes, that's a big story.
Yeah, now they think they can.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of how we got started. And then the more we started going to local auctions and local estate sales, the more we became hooked, as this is a great deal of fun and, also very, very nice and profitable, but mostly a great deal of fun.
Ages under 6 can't go on the top.
All right, Nadine, I'm putting you on mute. Back to you, Maida.
Okay. I think the person that Nadine was wanting me to talk about was, we were commissioned a couple of years ago by LucilleBall DesiArnaz's daughter, LucieArnaz. Many of you might have been following this 2 years ago when we first did it, but for those of you who were new, it was the single most exciting consignment commission that we certainly have ever gotten, and we continue to sell her things. We still have about 100 of the original group still running. So you can go, I made this so you people could remember. Can you see this? That is the website to see, LucieDesiSale.com. And that's where you can see an actual interview with me and LucieArnaz, my friend.
Let me show it there, Maida. You can keep talking, but I'm going to show your page while you're talking.
Go. Okay, so Lucie, Lucie, is their daughter, as opposed to Lucy. Lucie decided to sell down some of the family things because she had thousands of items that needed to be dealt with, and that's a wonderful video that explains it. And she had a very negative experience with a big New York auction house where she had given them LucilleBall's stunning diamonds, which I had a chance to put on my hands and look at. She was very partial to yellow diamonds because she thought the yellow diamonds went beautifully with her red hair. But she consigned those in New York, and then also consigned more household things than I even want to think about. And they did a great job with the jewelry. And then she waited about 8 or 10 months to find out what happened to all the silver and all the other items, and was told later that they had closed down the account and they had sold all of LucilleBall's gorgeous sterling silver and household items in a general household auction without ever identifying them as having been belonging to the family. And so that was it for my friend Lucie, and she said, I'm coming to you, I trust you. And we also felt that the fan base of I Love Lucie's fan base is enormous, and we felt that a lot of these fans would be much more comfortable on eBay than they would be at a hoity-toity New York auction house, and that it would have, the auction house did not want to take LucilleBall's fur jackets because there is not a big market in used furs. Around here, you can't get $25 at an auction for a fur coat. But these were LucilleBall's fur jackets with her name inside the lining. And I said, I will take them in a heartbeat. And we sold 3 of them for $14,000. And so it was an enormous success, and the fans have very deep pockets, and surprisingly, some of them are in their 20s. This is not the people my age who grew up watching the show. This are young people who just had great joy in watching this. So there's a huge fan base. And LucieArnaz and her husband Larry Luckenbill, who was an actor, he was in Star Trek and Boys in the Band and many other famous movies, they have a fan base in their own right. So it was a real treat, an absolute treat to have this, and we love the things we still have. The amazing things sold. One Jason and I were talking about was DesiArnaz's pool table.
Yeah, so if I want to see if people read my descriptions of the episodes.
2 people wrote to me and asked me about it.
How you fit it in a flat rate.
Yeah, I mentioned Maida shipped a pool table in a flat rate envelope, but that showed that people were reading it because they were like, what?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
There's a great video that I watched where Maida was talking about the pool table. And hey, Maida, before you go on any more of your story, there's a few questions in the chat.
Okay.
I'll answer one. You did not know Lucie. You just met her daughter. You never met Lucie, correct?
Lucie died in the 80s, so no, I never. LucilleBall died in the 80s.
Yeah. And Stacy says that my wife says she hopes that they sued the auction house for screwing up.
They should have, but she was in the middle of some other issues, and so they didn't. But they certainly would have been within their rights.
And do you have a shop, or do you work from home?
We work from home. We're all online. We sell our collectibles, which is the bulk of our items. We sell on eBay, and we also have a presence on Amazon for new inventory. But all of the Lucie things, at the point when we had all the LucilleBall items, our house was like a little museum. We were living in a shrine. One of the funnier stories was Lucie, my Lucie, I'll call her Lucie with an I-E, at the end said, maybe you want to take this. And she pulled out a director's chair that looks like, the tall director's chairs that people put up at bars, but it had LucilleBall's name on the back. But it didn't even look like it had ever been worn, and it's by a company that currently makes them. And you could actually order one for $300 online and have LucilleBall's name put on the back of the chair if you wanted. But this came from the closet in her house. And she said, do you want it? And I said, I want everything. I don't want you to throw away anything. And we thought it would sell for $300, and it sold for $3,500. And so, every little piece that we thought wasn't going to be anything turned out to be. Her fans were so eager to partake in this. And so we did a second round last year. So we did the first round when it was her 100th anniversary, and then her birthday, and then we did a second round when they moved to Palm Springs a year ago. And I don't know if there'll be a third round, but I'm still digging up checks and signed checks, and each one of these things comes with a signed certificate of authenticity from LucieArnaz. So people know that these really were authentic and they really came from their house.
Very cool.
Very cool.
I know that the pool table was a staggering piece because it was full of such history with DesiArnaz and all of the people that came to play pool in his house. And it was a great story, but the shipping, seriously, was going to be a very complex issue. You have to get a special company that takes pool tables apart and knows how to do it. And gratefully, people that live right near here ended up being the people that bought it and just took it to their country. So no shipping was needed. We said local pickup, but we would help people arrange shipping. So, but it's certainly been very exciting. And I had a dream one night after this, and I thought, well, I'll never get to do this again unless Liza Minnelli decides to consign Judy Garland's things with me. And so I ended up talking to Lucie one day, not realizing that Liza Minnelli had been engaged to Lucie's brother. So she said, stranger things have happened, Maida. You never know what phone call you're going to get. So you'll be the first to hear if I get that phone call.
Hey, somebody wants to know if Desi Jr. has any part in this.
Desi Jr., he did his own auction at one point of his items, and now anything that Lucie does, she splits the profits with her brother.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
He lives in
Um,
Henderson.
He lives in Nevada, actually.
Near me?
Yes, he does.
Henderson.
His wife sadly passed away recently, but they ran a ballet and a theater studio.
Oh, yeah, I think I knew that. And hey,
Yeah.
Bill, since we hear you, Bill, you want to stick your face in here?
Yeah. Bill's saying he thinks it's Henderson.
Hello.
Hi,
Bill.
Good to see you.
That was so awesome. You just popped up like magic.
That's funny. That's funny. Hello. So it was certainly, of all of the consignment items that you'd ever do, this was the single most exciting thing that we've done, and continues to be. We still have some boxes, and I'm going through it and always finding interesting things. People like to frame her signature on checks, and then we have beautiful portrait photographs, and they frame those. So I was not somebody that ever watched the show growing up. Bill watched it a lot, but there's some very, very funny things. One of the more popular shows that people like hearing about was when the show was starting to end, they did a couple of episodes here in Connecticut, right near where we live, and I guess in one of them, she has chickens in the backyard. She and Ethel have chickens in the backyard, and the chickens are laying eggs, and Desi doesn't want them to be raising the chickens, so they would hide them. And they're out in the backyard gathering all of the eggs, and they hear Desi come home, and LucilleBall takes all the eggs and stuffs them in her bra and sticks them all down inside her dress and walks in, and Desi decides it's time to practice the tango that they're going to be doing that night for a show. And, of course, they never did a second take on this, according to my Lucie. This was live. Everybody in the audience sort of knew what was about to happen, but it had never been done. And he swings her in doing the tango, and obviously all of the eggs smash and run down, and she gives her typical LucilleBall look. And the audience laughed so hard and so long. I think it was a 2.5-minute laugh that had never been done live on TV before. So they made a recording of that 2.5 minutes of the audience laughing and sent it to all the local radio stations to have them use it as a promotion. And we had one of those records that we sold in this auction. So it's just great little pieces of history.
That's great. That's awesome.
My mom is just loving this right now. She's been the biggest Lucie fan I've ever known. So
I remember I think I talked to her about the pool table or the...
Yep.
Yeah.
She gets up. She said in the chat, because you're not watching the chat, she gets up at 5 a.m. every morning to watch Lucie. I'm like, who gets up at 5 a.m. to watch a show you've seen 1,000 times?
Well, I think it's wonderful. Tell your mom I wish the pool table had gone to her. That would have been lovely.
All right, Maida. So what do we share with all our guests, or have our guests share with the world? Their scores. So hey, let's do your scores.
Okay.
So here's our first one, antique Ullman Victorian. What is this? Oh, it's a print.
Okay, these Ullman was a company in the 1890s that was the first company to take photographs, and then they hand colored them. And if you see these, you might pass them by and you wouldn't think to buy them. They hand colored them and then made prints of them. And this was the first company to bring to the United States market colored prints, and probably every Victorian house had something like that. And we went to a local auction. We get almost all of our inventory from auctions. Unlike the rest of you that go to thrift stores, we like to go to auctions. And we went to a local auction, and they had 31 of these prints by Ullman, and we bought them for approximately $10 each. And this particular one that you're showing now just sold for $270. So one print almost covered all the costs, and they've been selling nice and solidly. So they are, if you can see the word Ullman, U-L-L-M-A-N, and copyright down in the bottom, if you look carefully, they're definitely worth picking up.
You ever see anything like that, Nadine?
Yeah, that's the picture. You just had it.
Yeah, can you pull it up again on the... I haven't... I see it really tiny, so...
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, now I see it big. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, they're very...
That's why I was having... now it's small again. Okay.
they're very sentimental, and they're not the kind of art that current people like, but the Victorians.
Yeah, it looks very Victorian. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that was this week.
All right, we got these tiny little dolls.
And
Tiny.
then these are something that you actually may stumble across someplace, and in a million years you would never think to buy. I don't have a ruler in this particular picture. These are 1 to 1 1/4 inches tall, and somebody sat there crocheting little costumes on these 1-inch dolls, which is remarkable. They were made in Germany in the 1920s and 30s by a company called Carl Horn, and I never knew anything about them. We bought on an online auction where we didn't go to see it. We bought a whole entire shelf full of dolls for $40. There were about 30 or 40 dolls, and I bought it because there was a Gone with the Wind dollhouse that I wanted, which I sold for $50. When we went to pick up these dolls, there was a cradle, and in the cradle were 7 of these tiny little dolls, and they looked to me like something your grandmother would have made from Woolworths, and honestly you would throw them away. There's no markings on them, there's no ID, but the more I looked at them, the more intrigued I was, and so I just went to Google and I put in miniature crochet bisque dolls, and up popped these Carl Horn dolls, and we sold these 2 for $304.
Oh.
We had 7 of them in this cradle that nobody could see in the pictures of the auction. So it was about $1,000 we got for these 7 1-inch dolls that you would pass by and think this is a piece of garbage. It's a penny toy. So they're not marked. If they were made in the 1950s in Japan, they made replicas of them. They are marked Japan, and they have much less value, obviously. But this was an exciting thing to learn about. I may or may not see them again, but this was a great week last week with these dolls.
That's crazy. So right up your alley there, Nadine. Dolls and art. Yeah. I'm like, what? I'm all thumbs.
I think those dolls are awesome. However, you know what? I would not have known to pick them up either. So.
No, and you wouldn't. But it's likely that. I mean, you may stumble on it. I know a lot of people on the thrifting board keep talking about how creepy dolls are, and it makes me crazy because they're not.
Yeah, I think if I had seen them, they would have piqued my interest. But I've never sold dolls. That's not my niche or anything. But I think they would have piqued my interest. But I don't know if I would have bought them. That's crazy.
Yes. Well, now I hope you will, because
I hope so too.
There's a lot of very valuable, interesting dolls.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Really...
Want to move on?
Yeah. Do you have more scores here?
Well, she wants to share this with the audience.
Oh.
LucieArnaz's costumes.
Jason and Nadine don't seem to know about the show. They're playing our song, and I can't sing, but hopefully somebody watching this knows, oh, they're playing our song. It's a great Broadway show. And right behind me, I don't know how to show it, but right behind me
I'm coming back to you. There we go.
LucieArnaz's red fringe dress that she wore to the Tony Awards. We have all of the costumes from this show here, and we're trying to hopefully find a theater group or a university theater program that might. These are all the authentic ones, and they're hanging in my extra bedroom here, and it's all I can do to keep my 5 granddaughters from wanting to wear one for Halloween. So they're quite extraordinary.
And it kind of looks like the cat dress.
It kind of does.
Jason, if you scroll down on that listing, there is a video where Lucie describes, scroll down a little bit more. Okay, she describes every single one of those dresses and what scene it was in this Broadway show that she won a Tony for. And with great humor, she tells you each dress. You can see the red fringe dress in the middle. So that's just a fun video to watch if you're trying to learn about it.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a beautiful dress.
And then we have one more fun jewelry story. Do you want to do that, Jason?
Yeah. So, and I have no idea where we are in time. So, hey, everybody, if you're watching, if we ran over today, which we are, but I don't even know what time I started. So, I'm sorry, but Maida's awesome, and you want to hear the story.
I can save it. I can save it.
No.
No, we want to hear it.
This story is awesome. This is my favorite story. So,
Okay. So
let me show the first picture, then we'll jump you off.
go ahead.
All right. So here's our first picture in regards to the story. So go ahead, Maida.
So that is part of a bin of tangled, horrible costume jewelry that we bought at a local box lot auction for $10 about 2 or 3 years ago. A box lot auction is you're buying by what's in the cardboard box. You can't pick through it. And I brought it home and realized how horrible that looked, and I just couldn't tackle it. I don't sell that much jewelry, and I couldn't face it. So I put it in the garage. I almost threw it out about 3 or 4 different times. And then last year, one of my granddaughters was here with her babysitter, her 20-something-year-old babysitter, and I was looking for an activity for them. And I said, why don't you go through that bag and just make all the bracelets in one section and the necklaces and the rings and whatever. And you can each pick something you want. We came home, and the sitter showed me what she picked, and my granddaughter showed me what she picked. And they all left, and I'm sitting and going through everything, and it's junk after junk after junk. And then I look in the bag of rings, and in the bottom of these horrible costume rings is what I see is a beautiful ring. Now, Bill and I were hippies, sort of, when we got married in 1997. I wore a mini dress. I wouldn't have china. I only would have stoneware. I wouldn't have silver. I only would have pewter. And I certainly would never have had diamonds. I never had an engagement ring. Now we jump ahead to, I'm looking at this ring that was in the bottom of the bag. Take it out. It is a beautiful diamond ring, marked 14 karat, in my size.
Oh my goodness.
I took it into a jeweler.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And that is the ring. And I took it to a jeweler. He said it is a flawless 1 carat stone. Those 2 blue bands were my mother's. And I made Bill propose again, and I now am sitting with a diamond engagement ring for the first time in 48 years of marriage. So that's my $10 thrifting jewelry story.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you. So I finally have an engagement ring, and I'm walking around going like this. I mean, over the years, I certainly could have bought one, but never did. But this is exactly in my size. And
That is a nice engagement ring, too. My
isn't that awesome?
It is beautiful. Yeah. I
So
love
that's
that
a
cut.
good story. I don't know how often people will buy jumbled bags of jewelry like that, but you never know what's going to be in the bottom.
You hit the jackpot with that
I
one.
did hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
I did indeed. And in my size, did I say that enough times?
That
It's
was
my
meant to
size.
be. That was just meant to be, yes.
So the jeweler wanted me to reset it. I said, no, this is from my era, and I'm just going to make believe I've had it for 48 years.
There you go.
So that's my biggest score.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
that
know
was
I'm a
cool.
little behind, but I was talking to Maida about this earlier, and I've not shared this story for a long time with people. So because Maida didn't have an engagement ring for 48 years, I wanted to share my wife and I's engagement. When we got engaged, it was, even though we had talked about it, it was so spur of the moment. We were at a little small theater production. See, we're going back to theater. We were
Okay.
at Music Man. My sister was in it. And we walked out of the theater, and I got on my knee, and I asked Stacy to marry me. Well, it was so spur of the moment, I didn't even have a ring. I mean, it was just nutty. It was like, let's get married. She's like, okay. So we decided, being smart kids, well, I was a kid. She was not a kid. That we could either buy her a diamond ring, like the one Maida just showed us, or we could put a down payment on a house. So, of course, we were like, we need a house more than we need a ring. But I still wanted to do something for her. So we went to Cedar Point, which is America's roller coaster. They always have the, oh, I think I am frozen. Am I back? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Cedar Point always has the biggest and baddest and best roller coasters. And so at the time, the Millennium, the Magnum XL was the tallest roller coaster in the world. And nowadays, it's really tiny. But back then, it was the tallest. So we're in the roller coaster, tick, 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 going up. And I reached in my pocket, and I said, here, I got you a real ring. Will you marry me? So we're going up this thing, and I'm hoping not to drop it.
Oh, my
I'm like,
goodness.
oh, my God. If I drop this ring off this roller coaster, it's going to suck. So I'd gotten a ring with our 2 birthstones intertwined. Wasn't expensive, but it was, you know, a little showing of my love. So we got it on her finger just as we went over the crest of the hill.
Oh, that's
She was
great.
crying, and we're like, ah!
Oh, my goodness.
So that was the first ring. And then, so we were married for a couple of years, and I really wanted to get her a diamond ring. And a friend of mine got engaged, and it didn't work out. and she had a nice diamond ring at a discounted rate. So I bought it from her, and Stacy and I were going to Boston for a week's vacation, and it was summertime. We were wearing shorts, and I wanted to find a romantic spot to give it to her, and it took me 4 days. So for 4 days, I had this giant ring box in my pocket, and I always had to make sure she was on the other side.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because I didn't want her to see it. So if you've been to Boston, been to the Boston Common, they have the swan boats. And we got on the swan boats. We're like 10 strangers. The guys pedaling us around the Boston Common. And I said, hey, will you be pissed if I make you cry in front of all these strangers? And she's like, what are you talking about? And so I whipped out the diamond ring, and I'm like, hey, will you marry me again? So I gave her that diamond that day. And then, cut 2 years later, we're both got careers. We're making some money. And I was talking to my mom and dad. My dad had some ins into the diamond industry based on his job. I said, I want to finally buy her own ring. So I worked out a brand new ring, her own setting, her own diamond. And we were at a party at my mom and dad's house. And I gave her a third ring. And then we took the ring that didn't work and we turned it into other jewelry. So we scrapped the gold, we took the diamonds out. We made a necklace and some earrings for her. So, yes, I'm a big nerd, and I gave my wife 3 engagement rings.
That's great.
There you go. That's my story.
Imagine if you had found this in a bag. She would have had yet another.
Oh, I know. But today we were washing clothes, and I wanted her to wash 2 shirts. I bought a gift for John Lawson and a gift for Chris Green, and she's like, I don't want other people's nasty stuff touching my clothes. I mean, it's dirty clothes. Can you imagine if I gave her a ring out of a bag? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in, to following us because of my mistake. I want to thank our guest for being awesome and having great stories. I want to thank my co-host for putting up with my idiocy tonight. I want to thank everyone in the world. I want to thank my wife for marrying me, my mom for giving birth to me.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Oh.
I see cats. I see children. I see more children.
Yes, my kids have snuck out of bed again. So.
Well, I hope the Tooth Fairy comes to your house very, very soon.
Yeah, I hope the Tooth Fairy comes. Tooth Fairies don't come to kids that don't go to bed.
Oh, Mommy just laid the smackdown, I think. Oh, my God.
Drop the hammer.
Bill sneaking in from the outside. So I want everyone to thank you, everyone. By the way, the reason we're doing Tuesday night this week is because I'm leaving for Chicago. My wife, yay, go honey, go Stacy, is running the marathon in Chicago on Sunday. Yay!
Right.
So
Awesome.
I'll be on a plane on Thursday, and next week the event, even though it officially starts on Friday, we're having a little get together Thursday night. So we will have no show next week. However, there is a however. We have figured out a way to have a show. So let me pop up one more graphic this evening, and guess what we're going to do this Saturday night.
This should be exciting.
I don't have an exact time yet, but yay! J&A's Thrift Halls this Saturday night. I will be live from my hotel room in Chicago. Nadine will be at home. And our guest, going with our theme of senior sellers on eBay, will be my mom and dad. Because
that's awesome.
They went to a new Savers, and they skinned them for all their good stuff. So they went to opening day. So this Saturday night, we will get a time to you soon. But if you are home on Saturday night, we will have an awesome haul video. So no Thrifty business next week. Keep that in mind. We will be, I will be on the road, but we will have a haul this Saturday night.
Yes, that would be fun.
All right. I know it was a nutty show. We're way over time. Thank you, everyone. I love you all very much. Please follow down below. Click on follow. Over here. And then give us a thumbs up over here. And Maida and Bill, thank you guys very much.
Yes, thank you.
You don't know this yet, but I'm probably going to see you in November.
Oh, okay.
Details to follow. So Connecticut peeps, details to follow. I will be in your neck of the woods in November.
Okay, give us a heads up.
I will do that. So thank you, Maida.
Okay, good night.
Thank you, Bill.
Yep.
Have a good evening, you two.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night. Thank you.
And Nay, I'll give you the last words because I screwed up, so you deserve the last words today.
Okay, have a good night, everybody. Good week of thrifting, and we'll see you on the haul show. Our next official show will be, I think, October, the week after the 15th, right? I'm trying to think of what. Look at my calendar here. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, do you have a real calendar?
Oh yeah, I got a real calendar. It's an Audrey Hepburn calendar. See?
It'll be the 22nd.
Yeah, 22nd. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so that's our next show, the 22nd. And then the following week, I am supposedly going in for my big surgery. So we'll have and Jason is traveling, so we'll probably have a couple weeks off. So look for our hall show. Look for us on the 22nd. We'll announce everything. And everybody have a great week.
Ta-ta.